Hit record. Okay. Love it. Heidi, good to see you. Anthony, good to see you. I like to see your faces. Jenny, good to see you, Jenny. Awesome. Ben. Okay. Because we only have 30 minutes, I'm going to go through the ground rules real quick as I continue to let people in the room here. First and foremost, we're going to use the chat. If you're not familiar with the chat, on the bottom of your Zoom screen, there's a chat button there. Open it up and be prepared to talk to each other. And that's kind of the whole point of this community building. So use the chat, know where it's at. Also, invite your friends. If you find some value here and you want to invite some people down the road, please invite your friends. We'd love to have them. This is about building community. And then finally, it's a new one that I didn't say last week, is please have an elevator pitch ready. Whether that's for me if I call on you so you can tell us what you do, or if somebody's trying to collaborate with you in the chat, let them know what you do because this is only a 30-minute call. Time is limited, and I want people to be able to maximize what they're able to do today. Okay. Let me just give you a quick example too. I love in real estate, which I've been in recently, last 8 months. I go to these meetings once in a while, and they go around the room and they say, "Give us your need, your want," and I'm going to add what you would be, what you're offering. Okay, so needs, wants, and offers. And so I would love to see that from this community as we go through these calls, your needs, your wants, and your offers. So let me give you an example of what that might look like. My need right now, I need a videographer for a home that I have for sale. I have a $500 budget. If you know a videographer, put it in the chat, DM me. I got a $500 budget to video this property that I have for sale. Okay. My want is I really want to sell that place. So there's that. Then my offer is I'm going to continue to do these coaching calls, right? So think about what your needs, your wants, and your offers are. You may only have one. You don't need to have all three, but that's how we're going to build this group up, right? So if somebody is a videographer in here, you got a job, come over right now, come film, I'll hand you a $500 bill, right? So this is about putting money in people's pockets, growing this community, needs, wants, and offers. The last ground rule is this community is built on faith, family, and business. Okay, those are my values. That's what's most important to me. And so I'm hoping that everybody in here aligns with that. So with that being said, I'm going to read a parable real quick. Bear with me if you're not a follower, but this relates to the community. I read this morning, it popped up 3 times in my life this last 2 days. So here's the parable. Suppose one of you has 100 sheep and loses one of them. Does he not leave the 99 in the open country and go after the lost sheep until he finds it? And when he finds it, he joyfully puts it on his shoulders and goes home. Then he calls his friends and neighbors together and says, "Rejoice with me, I found my lost sheep." I tell you that in the same way, there will be rejoicing in heaven over one sinner who repents over the 99 righteous persons who do not need to repent. Why is this important today for this room? Because I want to look at this room as we're all that one sheep. We're here to help each other out, right? Let's leave the crowd and help each other out and build community, and let's celebrate around that here in this group. So I thought it was a worthy parable to talk about. That's the faith side. So here we go. Look, I want to serve other people here, and I want to work with 1%ers. I want to work with the A-listers. What does that mean to me? Well, first of all, I had 2 people this morning as I was blasting out that reminder. One said, "Hey, Jim, take me off the list." I thought, okay, well, guess what? I'm looking for a videographer because he wanted to be off the list. I had another guy who was a real estate agent. "Hey, Jim, take me off the list." Well, guess what? I sell real estate. So if he doesn't want to be here, I'm here, right? So I want you guys to step up with your business, and I want you to shout out what your needs and wants are and what you do so that we can make a genuine difference in your life, right? So come into the crew, talk about what your needs are. I want to highlight a couple people last week that were either in the chat or that were our guests last week. So first of all, Rob Bailey. And by the way, talking about A-listers, right? Gosh, I'm too busy to jump on the call, or I'm too busy to take a text, I'm too busy to respond. You know, a lot of people take that approach. Well, let me tell you something. Guys like Rob, who spoke last week, or Brad, who spoke, Brad said he had what, 3,000 people in his network? I mean, that guy probably gets a lot of texts, but he took the time to develop and build his own personal network by joining our community. So if you want to be an A-lister and part of that 1% club, take the time to be involved with the network of people that are reaching out to you. That's going to make the difference. So when I see people like Rob and Brad and Red Suit jump on and tell their stories and want to be involved with what we're doing as a community, it's telling me that they're elevating their game to get involved with more people. And that's, again, what this is all about. So if you remember, Rob talked about his need for community. They had built a brand, and they started with community, and then they got focused on their brand for all these years, and they realized, hey, we've lost the community. So if you look at his schedule on his Instagram, you'll see that they're doing a number of community events again. So his need and want is show up to his community events, Cars and Coffee. Brad talked about his community in the fitness industry and his ability to help people get stronger and healthier. And what I was bragging on with Brad was the fact that his community went way beyond health and fitness. People are in there talking about how do we help one another, whether that's through divorce, our alcoholism, our addictions, our lack of energy, and all these other things. So it's really neat to watch how these communities work. And that's what we hope to emulate. And then Red Suit talked about his community of flipping homes and helping monetize what people's needs were in terms of the real estate market or making money through your special talents or investments. So that was pretty neat. All right, there's a couple people that jumped on. They don't know it yet, sorry, but I'm going to ask you to highlight what you're doing. I'll give you a little warm up for that. But Richard, I'm going to go to you first, buddy. I saw you tune in. And the reason why I want Richard to talk is that when I look at A-listers out there, are people that are going above and beyond in an industry that most of us overlook, although we probably touch his industry every single day. And that is, well, I'm going to let you tell your industry, Richard, but this is what I know about you before I met you. Rob Bailey said, I don't know what Richard's doing in town. I got to figure it out. This guy is the best of the best, and he should be over here working with me. So with that layup, Richard, what do you do? What's your business? Give us about 2 minutes of your time.
Well, thank you, Jim. That was extremely generous of you. I was in town just helping Rob because he has some printing equipment that I'm really, really familiar with. I worked with that manufacturer for years and got to learn the equipment really well. And so just like with anything else I do, I like to give it everything that I've got. And I built quite a reputation for being the best at what I did when I was doing that. Now I'm currently in the garment industry manufacturing, to where we're doing branding, we're doing clothing, we're doing fulfillment, everything, the full package. I've been in this industry, I don't know, I've been designing since I was probably 13. I'm 41 now. I love what I do. This is really where all my passion is in the screen printing industry. So anybody in the group that needs advice and direction when it comes to embroidery, screen printing, anything like that, you can give me a call.
So like I said, Rob introduced him as one of the best in the business. So if we got one of the best screen printers, hat producers, sticker makers in the industry, grab his number. So by the way, you guys should be in the chat, putting your information in, needs, wants. Look, a want could even be follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to build up my following because I've got customers. I want to increase my customer base, right? So your needs and wants could be as simple as follow me on Instagram. Don't be shy. That's what this is for. If you leave today and you don't get something out of it, then we're not doing our job, or you're not being assertive enough to do something about it. Sheila's somewhere here. Sheila, I don't know if I can call on you. I wanted to introduce you real quick.
I'm here, Jim. Thank you.
All right. Well, let me give a layup on Sheila. Again, being in the real estate industry about 8 months now, I got to know Sheila at an event. Sheila is an incredible mortgage broker who has solved so many problems for me in a short period of time, and she's trying to grow her business. So Sheila, if you want to give us an elevator on what you do, what your outreach looks like, and maybe a need or a want, we'd love to hear it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jim. I'm happy to be here. So I've been in real estate lending for over 30 years, and I still love what I do. I work with all different kinds of clients, different kinds of properties, but I would say I specialize in self-employed borrowers. We're really out networking to help people. There's vanilla. We do that, all day long. You're buying a house and qualify with W-2s and pay stubs and great credit. And then, there's the education piece. People that don't know how they qualify, we're happy to help there. And then I get all kinds of inquiries. I just helped a client that was mid-construction on a home and ran out of money, help them finish their project. I get clients all the time that are declined by other lenders, and we work with them in a situation and help them find a solution.
Awesome. Thank you. Her information's in the chat. Why is this important? Well, I saw Red Suit just join the call. I was on his investment call about an hour ago. They flip homes and they talked about lending money and how to get involved. And so when you start collaborating with people, you put two and two together. Now you've got something to work with. I'm going to go to Kyle because I saw he's on. I love this man. Kyle, take us off mute. I'm going to give you a couple minutes. Kyle, if you don't know him, he's used to play pro football for the Chiefs, a couple other teams. And I've been working with Kyle the last couple of years on several projects. One of them is his lineman training camp called Trench Warfare. I wore my hat today, Kyle. So that's one thing. And then Kyle has been intimately involved in the cannabis industry as it relates to NFL players. And Kyle, give us the 1 minute elevator on you and just thank you for being here. Appreciate somebody like you taking some time to be on the call.
No, I appreciate you. Jim, you're at the top. I mean, we all are just trying to keep up with you. We appreciate you. It's an honor to be on. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, just south in Eric Franklin, Tennessee, popular now. And as Jim mentioned, involved in the cannabis industries as well as fitness industries. Over the years, helped develop pretty large programs, in football and sports training in general. Avid surfer, snowboarder, skateboarder still, even turning 50. So, and 6'5", pushing 280 pounds. So, a lot of pain though from the game, a lot of things that turned me to understanding this plant and understanding cannabis in its medicinal form, and that that's what it truly is. I've been at the forefront of the meetings and conversations with the NFL to help push, that no more players are suspended anymore for this, and that they are actively researching and providing funds to research this for the NFL, for sports. And so currently, retooling my approach as I see the future here in cannabis as it is moving forward. And that, the medicinal opportunity in this is about to finally be exposed in a lot of legislation that's about to happen, which I'm as well involved in heavily with, legislation from being a part. I've testified in front of Congress twice, from the concussion situation in the NFL to the solution that I know exists in cannabis, being able to be pharmaceutical free for over 11, 12 years now, not one pharmaceutical. It never needed one of them, found answers in cannabis for all of those things that I dealt with. That was about a 20 pill a day regimen for about 20 years. So the proof has been in, this experience and my telling of it. So, anybody out there that's, has any interest in cannabis or just the business side of it in general, been there, done that, have dispensaries in California currently, working through a transitional situation here in Tennessee on the hemp side of it, which is a massive opportunity that people really need to understand. This is a Bitcoin Musk, very similar type of a situation where we have only seen the tip of the iceberg. As soon as the science is allowed to come out, because it hasn't been even allowed, this is quickly going to become the number one, medication again prescribed in the United States of America up until 1934, cannabis. So, I know this and I understand this. The NFL is offering grants and all kinds of different things for this. So I'm trying to put together a good group of people that are interested in creating a true medicinal company, but based around a public opportunity, in that this is a free opportunity, a free plant at medicine. We don't have to go through, it's already FDA approved. These are USDA approved. All of these things within the hemp structure, of which is expanding even further if you pay attention to it. There's THC drinks in every liquor store now, all the restaurants, grocery stores. So the train's left the station. Now it's a matter of people understanding, what is going to keep a brand on track, and your place in this industry growing. And we've survived California, so I can
Kyle,
say we've done a lot. Yeah.
Kyle, I'm going to cut you off so I can get a few more people on. But hey, look, Kyle's been doing this work in a couple spaces for a long time. What he's done and the lives that he saved is incredible. Kyle, if you want to put your your number or any way they can contact you in the chat, that would be awesome. Somebody else popped up, and I know we won't always get them, but Matt Beaudreau's here from Apogee Schools. Matt, can you take your mute off? I met Matt several years ago as he was creating opportunities for homeschool education, his version of that. And I don't want to hack up what he's doing, but Matt, thank you so much for being here. I love what you're doing for our youth and the programs that you've put together. And I believe it's on a national level now. So you want to touch on that for 2 minutes?
Yeah, man. Honor's mine, brother. I'm just here because I'm a huge Jim Riley fan too, man. Got a bunch of amazing people here too. And Kyle, I'm also 6'5", 280, or like 5'9", buck 75. So same sort of deal. I think you played with a friend of mine, man. John Wellborn is a buddy of mine. Did you get to play with John? Yeah, cool, man. What a good dude. Sorry for the seance lighting, but thanks for letting me chat, man. Yeah, Apogee, it's education for the whole family. So we're building out. We've launched in just the last year alone, over 100 K through university campuses, mostly here in the US, some in Canada, a couple outside of Australia, Guatemala. So we're going international at this point. And we have mentorship for men, women, teens, and home education families too. So we got a couple thousand people in that network at those various levels, man. And it's really just about making families better, making families the backbone of society again, man, building up strong young people. But we got to have mom and dad being solid too. So we're pouring into everybody, and we bring in the best mentors on the planet every week. And that includes, we've had the honor of bringing in Mr. Jim Riley as well, to pour in there, man. So yeah, it's an honor to get to do what we get to do.
Appreciate that. And so, Matt, you guys have been growing. I mean, how many states are you in now? And is that like a franchise operation, or how does somebody get involved?
Yeah, the campuses themselves, it's an affiliate, so it's more similar to CrossFit because it's not locks. We give you everything, like a franchise would, but we also give you sovereignty to go, all right, I want to change this a little bit too, as long as you don't go outside the values. So yeah, we're in almost every state, and again, 5 or 6 different countries at this point, and that's within the last, I guess, about 18 months, man. So yeah, if people want to, learn about that or learn about the mentorship programs, Apogee, I'll put it in there, but apogeestrong.com.
Yeah, that'd be great. Put it in the chat.
Thanks, man.
I had the pleasure of being on one of Matt's calls and speaking to his students. And, what I love the most about it is that he'd asked me, to give my message or my business testimony to those kids, because he realizes the strength of learning through our experiences. I always say I paid the dummy tax, so hopefully I shared some wisdom there. But Matt has had the opportunity to bring some really incredible people through. I've seen some of the guests you've had on, and I love the work you're doing. Here in Montana, the public schools are declining. I know the local school here in my district is down over 20% on their student counts, and it continues to increase each year. People are looking for alternatives. Homeschool in Montana is massive. What state are you in again?
As of 3 years ago, we're in the mountains of North Carolina out here. I'm born and raised California, but we're in North Carolina.
Right on. Okay, well, thank you for sharing. Really appreciate it. Hey, we got less than 10 minutes. If you want to say something, raise your hand. we'll call on you. There was a couple other highlights from last week. Greg Dawson's not on here today, but he's a professional bodybuilder. He used to be one of Fly North Fails athletes. He was looking for ways to make extra income. And so specific, maybe it's bodybuilding, maybe it's coaching, maybe it's nutrition. So if that fits with anybody, connect with me and I'll connect you with Greg. I already connected him with Jeremy, who was the owner of Corvive. He was here last week. Alberto Ochoa, he sent me a message. He couldn't be here today. He's selling a restaurant in Fullerton, California. It's been there 20 years. He doesn't have the capacity to run it anymore. It's a Mexican restaurant. It's well established. If you guys want to get in the restaurant business and you're in California, there's your man. And then finally, Corbin, I think he's here right now. Let me look. Corbin, you're on the line. Why don't you take yourself off mute real quick? Or Corbin. All right. Coben had some in the notes. He was looking for.
How are you?
Yeah. Hey, buddy, what did you say in the notes that you were looking for?
Well, right now I'm just trying to get through college. I just kind of switched to mechanical engineering. So I'm staying here for the semester doing community college. So I'll probably need a job this fall. But yeah, I mean, in the future, I hope to start an engineering firm, mechanical, and then also just buy up smaller businesses.
Okay. So I think you said something about acquiring real estate. Was that in there?
Yeah, that is also my goal.
Okay. I knew there was something that stood out. And so Red Suit Realtors in here, like I said earlier, we just got off a call where he talked about flipping homes and investing. And then you got Sheila that can help find you some money. I know Bryon O'Reilly's in here. He can help find you some money. He can do a deal for you. He can appraise the place for you. So again, this is how we're connecting those dots. If you don't say anything, people aren't going to know what you're looking for or what you're doing. And I do see that the chat is starting to light up a little bit. Rod, what do you want to highlight, bud?
Well, I wanted to call out our Big West building. He wanted to introduce somebody onto the chat.
Ben,
Big West Building Services wants to introduce someone new on the chat.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jim. I wanted to introduce TJ Fry. He's recently become a good friend of mine. He's a man of God and a business owner. He's here in the Valley as well. I think he's in Whitefish area, but he's got a painting business and that sort of thing. And he's got a career in motorsports as well. So I figure maybe he might be worth connected to if he wouldn't mind giving a quick introduction to himself. And then just as a reminder, guys, I'm in motorsports. We've got small local short track racing as long as it's.
I think we lost him for a second. All right, TJ, if you can unmute, go ahead and unmute. I want to talk to you for a second selfishly. Ben, I lost you for a second, but hey, Rachel's got a house for sale, a property for sale that's got some dirt bike tracks and stuff. So if you know somebody that needs dirt bikes, there you go. TJ, give us the 30-second elevator, bud.
Elevator pitch, man. You're putting me on the spot. Yeah. So I was a professional driver for about 10 years. I don't really do that anymore, but from what I did with that, basically I moved into, I want to be a family man. So I'm home with my daughter and my wife now, and took all that I learned in there about adult learning and got more certifications. And now I work with businesses and individuals on, it's largely mindset focused, but I work with them to impact their bottom line and grow their revenue through, ecological and faith-based means.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being here. Invite your friends. Welcome. Love it.
Will do. Thank you.
Jenny, can I call on you real quick?
Sure.
So I had the opportunity to work with Jenny, and what she does, just in my book, you're a special soul. Can you just tell us what your business is? Just for the mere sake of the work that you're doing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's Healthy Beginnings Pediatric Therapy. So we do interventions for kids, speech, occupational, feeding, and physical therapy. So we do a little bit about that, but we also have a unique business in the sense that we really coach and lead people as part of our endeavor. So if you know of anyone that is in that professional world, we are hiring constantly because we have such a need. Very few clinics that do what we do around this area. And we have like 50 kids that are waiting to get in. So we get them in. It's not too long of a waiting list, but definitely if you know of any therapists that you're connected to, that would be super helpful.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. By the way, Todd's back this week. He's raising capital for a wine business that he's in. Todd, you want to give us the 30-second on that?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Hi, everybody. So we have a very unique wine company where we age wine in the ocean, and we've had a lot of challenges when it came to the regulatory and bureaucratic space. We got shut down in California, got a lot of press, bad press for that. And then it turned out the state actually charged us with a bunch of felonies, 9 felonies and 21 counts. It was pretty aggressive. Ended up being after about 10 minutes when we finally got to court, all the charges were dropped and expunged, but it was not fun. So we ended up pivoting and going to Oregon, and then the feds came in and basically treating us like big oil. Looked like millions more dollars to go through the whole regulatory process. So we pivoted again, and we're down in Baja. And I just found out last week we are getting a permit to drop down there, and we're going to drop in October. But essentially, what happens is you take the perfect elements of aging wine, perfect temperature, no oxygen, no light, the depth of pressure at 70 feet. The ocean currents slowly churning the wine in the water. And then we have a patented process that when these steel cages hit the wine with these specific metals, puts off a saltwater battery that ionizes the wine. And then the end result is pretty amazing. The wine comes out, and every single time with wine connoisseurs, master sommeliers, we don't tell them the vintage, and they're off 7 to 12 years. And the wine, nobody recognizes the previous wine from that was traditionally aged versus the ocean age wine. And then the amazing byproduct is each bottle comes out ordained with like barnacles and seashells and coral, and they're just beautiful, and they come out pieces of art, and there's no 2 bottles alike, and pretty special project. And what I thought would be amazingly easy because of the product that comes out and then the bottles, it's been really difficult, and we've got through a lot of challenges. We've got all our TTB licenses, our alcohol licenses, our import export licenses, and we're ready to launch. And we're looking for anywhere from 300 to 700,000. We've got a 10,000 back order list, plus we have a 38,000 mail order list. We've had crazy media attention. We've been on the BBC, CBS Sunday Morning, 60 Minutes, cover of LA Times, just without even trying. So this is one of the most amazing brand narratives I've ever seen. And so that's the quick.
Love it. Hey, throw your website back in the link. I love this investment, guys. I'm doing some work with Todd to help him out on this project. It's awesome. I owned a wine import business for 7 years. I love what he's doing. By the way, the chat is on fire. So if you're not checking it, I see a lot of people are trying to connect. WS Coaching. Let's go.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. By the way, my name is Kiara. I'm sorry, didn't come up on the that's the company. Okay. So I'm a life coach. I've been a life coach for about 10 years. I'm originally Swiss Italian, but I've been here in the Valley for a couple of years now. I love working with adult clients. It's mainly mindset coaching, crisis coaching. But I started working with teenagers, and I saw a really growing needs for, I sort of here in the Valley, I guess a lot of people are blessed to have solid communities like churches, and but that does not necessarily apply to every teenager. So I wanted to find a way to empower them with basic skills, life skills, emotional skills, to keep them out of trouble. So I've designed 2 programs. So I've split the groups into 13 to 15-year-olds, and then 15 to 18 or 19, sorry. And so it's an 8-week program, meet once a week online or in person. And it's completely free. I finally got my tax exempt status approved. So what I want to do is to try to reach as many teenagers as possible, especially the ones that are kind of more at risk. There's a lot of teens that are in therapy, but there's also a lot of teens that don't like the idea of therapy. And having coaching, so I've run a pilot program and got feedback from the teens. And I think what sold it to them was the fact that it wasn't therapy, and having a personal coach was almost something they were proud of, you know. And I also involved the teenagers to help me with the curriculum, building the curriculum in the first place. So it was appealing to them. However, while I love what I do and coaching is my, I guess, my skill, I'm not exactly too familiar with the rest of the operation. So the marketing, the kind of building, I'm starting now rebuilding a network, a stronger network, so I can reach out the community in terms of finding access to the teens that are in need, and also to funding, so the program can be free, completely free for the teens.
So I'm going to stop you there because we're going to be out of time.
Go for it. But that's all I need to say. So
I love it. Put your name in the chat, and I'm sorry I cut you off. I just want to be respectful to the 30 minutes. But
thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
There's a lot of people in this room that have teenagers, and I know our hearts bleed for the work that you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
That's how we build a better community. Please make sure you put in there how we can connect with you. And I think Anna invited you. So Anna, thanks for inviting.
She did. Thank you.
Look, this is how it goes. Every week, 30 minutes, come with your needs, your wants, or what you're offering. Hey, don't forget, I need a videographer. I got a $500 budget. They can make $500 this week. Let's go. See you guys next week. Connect. School is coming soon, which will be another resource for y'all. Good to see some of you, Kyle. So good to see you, buddy. Talk to you guys soon next week, Tuesday, 12:30.